guys, this is Christian Metalhead Brotherhood, here to do another album review. This album came out last year. It's Hope for the Broken by Convictions. This one was requested, so I'm going to do a review of this one. I got into Convictions a long time ago. I think it was the first song I heard by them was Doubt. I don't remember what album or EP that was off of. That was a really great song, and that got me like really into them. But I actually didn't know that they had released a new album last year, up until one of you asked about it. So yeah, I hadn't even listened to it or anything. I did hear their single Deceptive Heart whenever they put that out. Or that was the first song off the album that I had heard anyways. I heard it sometime last year, and I guess I didn't know it was part of an album. I thought that was a pretty cool song, but I wasn't really too into it. It wasn't like really as heavy. Like it was it sounded more like kind of like just really heavy rock with like the metal screaming sort of. I thought it was still kind of cool. Like I said, I kind of used to listen to them a lot, like after I heard their song Doubt, but I thought I remembered them being a lot heavier and kind of more metalcore-y, and having a little more like riffing. A lot of like what I heard on their album like wasn't too crazy or complicated, like just some like really hard breakdowns and stuff. But there actually were a couple of songs that like I thought were like really good actually. The song Divided on this album was like a really good song. It kind of reminded me of their song Doubt, just kind of the style of riffing and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. One thing about Convictions that I never really noticed before is the vocalist really reminds me of the vocalist of The Devil Wears Prada. Like with his kind of high screams, like that kind of weird sort of high scream that he does. Really reminds me of that, of The Devil Wears Prada. Even the clean vocals sound like the clean vocalist on The Devil Wears Prada. Like I just noticed that listening to this album. A lot of the different breakdowns in the album, they always like start with like this sick, brutal scream, which I like thought was like really cool. Like you could hear like the really high scream, you could hear like the mid, and then like the low, and it just sounded like brutal. And I thought that was like really cool. I honestly haven't listened to the album like a whole lot. Like I said, I didn't even know that they had released one, for a while. And but like listening to it, and I think it's like a great album. Like really great message in the lyrics. One thing I've noticed with Convictions is a lot of it is like, confessions and stuff like that. Like confessions of like whatever, sins that the band members might be struggling with, or like fighting against, and kind of like a lot of their songs kind of consist of like confessions, and then like like crying out to God for like help. So if you're like looking for an album with some really good relatable lyrics, definitely check out Convictions, Hope for the Broken, because like a lot of this album, like I said, is like a lot of hardcore confessions and just like crying out to God for help, for like him to help them and to change them and help them just to be better basically. It's a great album. I think their sound is kind of like it seems like it's kind of becoming more on like the like heavy rock side, with just like with the metal screaming that rock usually doesn't have. That's kind of what it's like kind of sounding like to me. I still think it's heavy and cool, but it kind of just seemed like that to me. The thing I've noticed like more with like rock music is it doesn't necessarily like, unless it's like classic rock or something, more modern rock doesn't really consist of like a whole lot of riffing or just like the power chords and like the that sort of thing basically. Maybe some hard riffs, but still like consists mostly of just like the three strings, that sort of thing, And they also do a lot on just the open D string. And you know, also around like the 12th fret area, I've noticed a lot of like their riffing has that sort of thing, you know, that kind of feel. But yeah. Anyways, I think it's a great album. As far as metal albums go, I still think it's pretty good. You know, it's still got the heavy, brutal screams and you know, some really heavy breakdowns. Some songs are just kind of leaning more towards the rock side, but still a great metal album. And definitely go and check it out. Convictions, Hope for the Broken. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and comment below if there are any Christian metal albums you'd like me to review, or if there are any Christian metal songs you'd like me to do a react to. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay Christian metal forever.